Welcome, fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic peeps, to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where, yeah, we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, but plenty of stuff in between, including books. And today's video, it's my favorite type of book-themed video, besides a book haul. It's not a book haul. It is, though, my other favorite video, which is my TBR video. And this month, I am bringing back my UNO-themed TBR game, and I have revamped it. I have added an Oracle card deck to it. I have added a spinner wheel to it. I'm super excited. I've also added a lot of different cards, like extra UNO cards from special different UNOs, and have written special things on the back to tell me what to do, whether to spin the wheel or go to the oracles, whatever. Very excited to cut to that, but we'll do that later. So, before we get there, stay right where you are. We're gonna go to the short intro, and when we come back, I'll start telling you all about my freaking December TBR. 'Tis the season to be spooky. La 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 la. Boo 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 boo. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's a ghost. Anyway, bye. Welcome back, guys! Season's greetings! Look at this! Frickin' a mantle with skulls and creepy stockings with skulls and candles and weird stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, so first I'm actually going to throw back to old Kelsi, aka past Kelsi, not really old Kelsi. Past Kelsi is the accurate way to describe this clip. I recorded it not that long ago, like an hour ago, and we will see what my TBR game chose for me to read. Alright, so without further ado, let's go and jump to old school, aka past Kelsi. Take it away, past Kelsi! Boosh! Alright, as you saw, I already shuffled these, so let me pick. I'm gonna pick from the top first. Okay, spinner wheel! It's one of the new elements to my game. This says to choose from the Oracle. This is a new little aspect to my game. I'll explain it in a second. I'm going to choose from my Oracle deck, which each card I have assigned a number of prompts, and I can choose which prompt for the card that I want to do, and pick a book based on the prompt that I chose for that card. Alright, so that's one of my new elements. Use the spinner wheel. Alright. A red 3. Red and yellow will be combined on this shelf because I just want to pick off of my winter and Christmas shelves, so this one. And I'm going to pick from the frickin', let's see. I'll pick from this side. And the last one is a green 3, so I'll pick from the opposite side. I gotta turn it around. So, what did I say to the right? 1, 2, 3. Red 3 from the right was the winter people. Definitely want to read this. Green is on the other side with blue. Ooh, there's a hair. Alright. And we will... Where did it go? Okay, so a green 3, and I will do... from that side. 1, 2, 3. Near the bone. Alright. Last 3 things. Let's look here. Oracle, spinner, and spinner. So 2 spinners and an oracle. So let's do the oracle first. So I got this awesome deck of oracle cards for no reason because I just saw that they were horror movie themed oracle cards, and I was like, oh hell yeah, maybe I could incorporate this into my game. As I said, I assigned prompts to each card. Let me get them out. So here's the blank side of the deck, and here's an example of the other side. Ooh, look how cool. Boogeyman, Halloween. Alright, so let's shuffle. Alright. Gonna kind of like gonna pick this one here. All right, The Deep. And I almost remember what I made for the prop for this one. This one, I believe it is something that I've been wanting to read for a long time. Let me make sure that yep, a deep cut, meaning like it could be a TBR vet or something that I've been really, really wanting to read for a long time, but maybe putting off. So I'm going to go with something that I've been putting off, but wanting to read for a while. It's easy because these are all my Christmassy books. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with, I wanted to read this last year, but I put it off. So I think I'm going to go with Black Christmas. Andrew just told me that this is really fun, so... Alright, and the last two cards both tell me to spin the spinner wheel. Dun 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 dun. A new element I have added to my game. I have a physical spinner wheel, and it's badass. So I have on here Young Scrooge. I own that on audio already. The Winter Tree is by Mark Morris. The Lodge, that's on KU. White, that's on KU. Return to Dialatov Pass, that's on KU. Xmas Eve, or Christmas Eve on Haunted Hill, KU. You Better Watch Out, KU. Christmas Candy Killing, and I own that on Kindle. Christmas Evil, which is a short story collection. I have that on audio. The Matzo Ball, which is a romance, and it's on KU. And Snow by Ronald Malfi, which I think I found that on Hoopla. And then finally Holiday Romance, which is a holiday romance, and I think it's on KU as well. Alright, so, dun 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 dun, I'm scared. What are you gonna pick? What are you gonna pick? Oh, the light's reflecting. It looks like White by, that's Tim LeBon. So White, but then it just moved to the Lodge. What the hell? Okay, I think it was White. I'll have to look again. I'm pretty sure it was White and it just moved. All right. Holiday Romance, yay! I did want to read that one, so that'll be fun. Okay, cool, I might read some of these even though I didn't land it on the wheel. Okay, you guys saw it. You saw what the TBR game chose. Two I don't have physical copies of. They're just from Kindle Unlimited or other areas like Hoopla, etc., etc. So yeah, I told you all about it. Winter People by Jennifer McMahon, newer book. Near the Bone, newer book. And then I picked out, using the Oracle card, Black Christmas, which is a vintage book. I'm excited about this one. Been wanting to read it for quite a long time. And in terms of these, my friend Andrew read these and loved them both. He really, really loves this one. And I've heard lots of people I know boast about these two books. So I'm very excited because people seem to have liked both of these books. So it's about time I get to it. Alright, because I feel like everyone but me has read these two. So it's great that the cards allowed me to somehow pick these off the card. Wonderful. Alright, but I do have other additional reads that I'd like to get to in the month that are thematic, Christmassy, or wintry reads that I will go through. I also might just end up spinning my wheel during the month, and I'm going to keep most of the things, except for the things I actually spun when I spun the wheel during the game. I'll erase those two things that I actually landed on, and I'll keep the rest and keep spinning if I'm ever in the mood to just mood read. Then I could read any of those things. Also, I picked 3 more things off of the cart. Purposefully, though. It wasn't, with the card game. It was just on purpose. So if I have time, I'd like to add these. These would be bonus. They're not, super priorities, but first we have a Graveyard School book, which is a Goosebumps knockoff series. So this one is The Fright Before Christmas. I think I meant to get to this last year. Did not get to it. Probably totally forgot about it. In fact, when I was shopping my shelves, I just released a video where I reorganized all my shelves and shop my shelves to redo my book cart for the game that I wanted to play. I wanted to have all winter themed and all Christmas themed books on my cart to pick from when I played my UNO game. So to do that, had to shop my shelves. Then it turned into a whole other beast, and I ended up just reorganizing everything and cataloging everything, which took freaking forever. But if you were interested in seeing the process and the little montage I made about that, I will have that video linked below if you missed it. So I did not show this in that video because I missed it, because it was one of the few areas in my room that I did not catalog. I didn't catalog my middle grade books, didn't catalog any new books I own, didn't catalog Fear Street or Goosebumps or Point Horror or Nightmare Hall, but I did basically catalog almost every single one of my vintage paperback from hell books. So all my paperback old school books, I basically cataloged all those. So I still got a good chunk of books cataloged, but this one I just happened to be looking up on my middle grade books, and I found it, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, I have this book, and it's Christmassy. So I just pulled it off my cart because I'd like to get to this if I can. Also, this is from my friend Cameron. If I have time, I'd like to read a few stories from this. This is Haunting Christmas Tales by Joan Akin and others. Look at this, great nutcrackers on the front. So, I don't anticipate reading the whole thing, but it'd be nice to read a few stories out of there if I have time. And lastly, if I have time, it would be great to get to a Fear Street book. I haven't read one, I think, all year. So I would like to try to get to The Best Friend. This cover is very Christmassy, so it seems like it would be appropriate, so.
Who is Honey Perkins? She's been telling everyone in Shadyside that she's Becca Norwood's best friend, but Becca's sure she's never met Honey before. Honey systematically moves in on Becca's life, copying her in every way.
And as I said while I was playing my TBR game, I am running a Patreon-only readathon for the entire month of December. It's also a watchathon as well. You can join in and do the movie part, or you can just do the book part, or you can do both. It doesn't matter. There is the name Christmas in the title of the readathon/watchathon, but you do not have to celebrate Christmas to join in. So check out my Patreon linked below if you are interested in learning more deets. It is open to every single tier. The tiers are $3, $6, and $9, so no matter what tier you belong to, you will be able to participate in the readathon, which is Creepin' Peepin' Christmas. And I explain all the details in my video I made all about it below. In case you haven't seen it, you can check out the video I'll have linked down there. Another thing we're doing on my Patreon, in addition to the readathon and watchathon, the Creepin' Peepin' Christmas, as I said, we're going to also be doing a voluntary buddy read. So it's optional, you don't have to participate, but if you're a member of my Patreon, feel free. There is an area on our Patreon Discord to discuss this if you want to join in. I'm going to be reading this right at the end of December, right before the New Year's, because this takes place around New Year's Eve. This is Disco Death Trap by Cameron Robeek, and it's a slasher, and it's set back in the 80s. Yes, it's New Year's Eve, specifically in 1980. So I'm super hyped to get to this because it'll be thematic, and I basically, there's nothing I love more than being thematic. So yes, I'm gonna strap in, I'm gonna buckle up, and I'm here for the buddy read, and there's a section if you want to join in too. One of my prompts for Creepin' Peepin' Christmas has to do with reading a book set during summertime, or, you know, a book with hot weather, anything opposite of winter. So for that, I started this earlier this year for Garb August. It was recommended to me by my friend Andrew, of course. You can find him at It Came From The Page. However, back in August when I started this, I didn't get to finish it. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it, it just, I ran out of time. And the night I started it, I was super crunk, so it's best that I actually stopped that night because I didn't remember anything the next day. I was like, I don't remember what I just listened to or /read because the audio for this is on Scribd, which is now called Everrand or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna continue with this because I'd really like to finish it before the year is up. Okay, and next up I've got some Krampus-themed books. These are high priority for me because I love Krampus. This is something that has been a new thing in my life the last couple of Decembers. I've really gotten into Krampus, and so is my friend Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures. Check out her channel. We have done so much Christmas content together. If you are wanting Christmas content and it's still November, check out my playlist of all of my Christmas content. A lot of it I've done with Kat. We talk about Christmas horror movies. We talk about all kinds of things. We talk about our favorite Christmas things in general. We also talk about Christmas books and Christmas horror books specifically, including some Krampus-themed books that we have read in the past. So I'll have a playlist of all my winter-themed videos linked below and my Christmas-themed videos linked below. But some newer Krampus books that I recently picked up that you did not see in my reorganization / shopping my shelves video because I put them aside to show you in my TBR video. I didn't want you to see them. These are the pile of books that I put aside and have just acquired. So here is Krampus and Friends, Tales of Terrifying Christmas Monsters from Around the World, and that includes Krampus. So excited about this. It'll be a collection of stories about different monsters, just like it sounds like, and I am here for it. Alright, next up, we've got a cute little picture book, very short and sweet. A great thing to add on to a busy month. This is Krampus, A Holiday Message. So, I'm excited. I love little picture books. They're a fun time. Next up, The Christmas Curse of Krampus, and this is a middle grade book. This is by Devin Orlowski, and It says,
The strange light in the forest was calling to 11-year-old Max, beckoning him to step away from the crowds of the festive Christmas market in Germany. No sooner does he enter the woods than he realizes it may have been a huge mistake, as an ear-splitting shriek pierces his skin and causes the hair on his neck to tingle. Through the mist, the horns of a terrifying beast with glowing eyes could be seen. Running for his life, he happens upon a strange but friendly man offering safety. Entering a world he thought he only existed in legends, Max needs to defeat the beast to save Christmas, as well as restore his own belief in Christmas and family.
This sounds like a ton of fun and very cute. Next up, here's a little tiny graphic novel, which is actually apparently based on the movie Krampus. So here we have the graphic novel Krampus. I'm very excited about this. It should be short, quick, easy, and perfectly thematic, which I'm very, very pumped about. Here we have a nonfiction book that was gifted to me last year by my friend Kat, who I already mentioned. We've done tons of Christmas things together, and Christmas just really reminds me of Kat, which is funny because it's not really her favorite time of year. Both of our favorite time of year happens to be Halloween. But, you know, I really like Christmas, and we both love Krampus during Christmas, and we've had so many fun Christmas chats. It just reminds me of her. We've had a lot of great Christmas memories the last couple of years, so I'm excited. I'm going to try to dig into this. I really doubt I'm going to read the whole thing in 1 month, but I will probably dip into it here and there, see how far I get. Maybe I'll pick it back up next year, or, you know, maybe I'll continue on in January because it's still wintry, and so it'll still feel a little thematic even though Christmas is over, but we'll see what I do. But I don't anticipate reading the whole thing. However, I do anticipate looking into it and reading some passages here and there, and at least dipping my toe into it because I really love this, and I'm so glad that Kat gave it to me, and there's a lot of cool pictures and illustrations in here, so excited and happy to own this. Thank you so much again, Kat. I love you. Another shorty. I'm really excited to have some short books because I'd like to get to 200 books read in the year. I know that's not really important, but I'm so close. It would be so great to just get there. I mean, because I'm almost close to that anyway, and I've never been, like, that close to 200 books in a year before. I've only been a big reader for the last couple of years, so that makes sense, but whatevs. This is another short book that I've actually heard about from my friend Cameron over at the channel Library Macabre. Of course, I'm talking about the author Cameron Chaney, the wonderful, the magnificent, the freaking Halloween king, and he's also kind of the Christmas horror king, because I found out about a lot of Christmassy books that are horror-themed from him, including this one. I don't know where I saw him talk about this from. Maybe it was on his Goodreads, or maybe it was just on the Christmas video he did. I really can't remember, but this is Santa Claus Comes Tonight. Next up, this book I actually found out about from my friend Alex over at the channel The Bookubus. Check her out. She's one of my favorite people, and she's just fantastic. The author of this book actually gave Alex an arc of this a couple of months ago, so she read it a while ago. I am reading it coming up here in December because I think it would be a very, very great Christmassy read. I love the cover. Really awesome cover with wonderful colors, very nostalgic feeling. And speaking of nostalgia, the back says,
Remember the 90s? Well, the town of Demise, North Dakota doesn't, and they're living in the year 1997.
So it's set in 1997.
That's because an alien worm hitched a ride on a comet, crash-landed in the town's trailer park, and is now infecting animals with a memory loss-inducing bite. And right before Christmas, now it's up to 19-year-old Raleen and her best friend Nate to stop the spread and defeat the worms before the entire town loses its mind. The only things standing in the way are their troubled pasts, a doomsday cult, and an army of infected prairie dogs.
Next up, a book I ordered from Shortwave Publishing, and it came in this cute little box. Really, really pumped about this. So, it did come with a candy cane, but I ate it. It was a little stale, but I wasn't complaining. It also comes with like a fake video rental card, kind of like Blockbuster. This is Killer VHS series because that's the series of books. They have more than one. This is the Christmas-themed one, though. This is Candy Cane Kills by Brian McCulley, and I just read a book by him this year that I really enjoyed, and that was for Amy's book club. Of course, I'm speaking of Amy from Amy Noel Reads. She's fantastic. Her book club, the Dark Hearts Book Club, is badass, and the other Brian McCulley book was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping this will be good too. It's definitely a slasher, and it definitely takes place at Christmas. So that's 2 things I love. So it's already got that going for it. We'll just see how I think of the actual plot and the characters, and I'm really looking forward to finding out what I think of this. There are so many books here. This is more of a pile of possibilities, to be honest with you. I'm just going to try to get to as much as I can, and I might even pick some other things up that aren't on my TBR. We'll see how I feel as December goes, but this is The Thief of Always, and there are scenes and parts, apparently, that kind of highlight Halloween, but there are also parts that highlight winter and Christmas as well. So I'd like to try to get this in, but if I can't, I can always read it for Halloween time or next Christmas. We'll see. I've heard great things about this book, that it's really dark. It's also kind of like a middle grade book by Clive Barker, which you wouldn't think Clive Barker, does he really go with middle grade? But apparently he does, because this, I've just heard nothing but good things about it. So yeah, I am so glad to have it on the TBR. I really hope I can get to it. We'll see. And of course, I have a chunker on my list that I'd really like to get to. Let the Right One In. I've heard so much about this. This was actually submitted for my Patreon jar by, I think, 2 different people. I know Michelle and somebody else also. And so I'm going to, instead of just picking randomly from my Patreon jar, which I try to do every month, I'm just going to officially pick this and take the name out of the jar because they both submitted it, both of my Patreons. And I'm going to read it in honor of them for their pick. So yay! I'm excited. Also, I have the audio, so I love both movie adaptations of this. There's a foreign movie and then an American adaptation as well. So I like them both. I've seen them both in the theater, actually. So it's been many years since I've seen both films or either film. So I am excited to read the book, and I really hope I love it. I just have heard beyond fantastic things, like even more so than anything else I said I heard good things about. This one, it's pretty well respected, well liked, so yes, it's time. It's time. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna make this a priority because, you know, my Patreon members, some of them submitted it, so usually I make that a priority, and some other things sometimes if it's like other people's book clubs or just a book that I really need to get to for a project, etc., etc. This is one that's definitely a big, huge, massive priority. Alright, last but not least, this is a short story collection that I was also gifted by my friend Kat. Yes, Kat, she's being talked about again. I can't talk about her enough when it comes to Christmas time. Also, I have to use this opportunity to shame her. Speaking of Christmas Evil, there's a movie called Christmas Evil, hence why she got me this book called Christmas Evil. She knows how much I love the movie Christmas Evil. We even had a whole big challenge about Christmas Evil, the movie. We had people vote if they were agreeing with me and loved Christmas Evil, or if they agreed with Kat and thought it was terrible and cheesy and horrible. I won, spoiler alert, people agreed with me. Yes, I'm Christmas Evil embodied. Ho ho ho. That's so dumb, I'm sorry, okay. Alright, I'm stopping. Anyway, she gave me this because our whole big Christmas Evil back and forth, of course, it was just such a great time when we did that like a couple of years ago, so she knew I would like the name of the book. I did start it last year. You could see there's a piece of paper here. I didn't get very far, but last year I didn't know that there was an audiobook. I have found audio, and I have the audio now, so I will be using audio, and we'll be trying to dip into some more stories from this. Christmas Evil,
It's Christmas Eve, a time of wonder, magic, anticipation, and terror! A father who will go to any lengths to feed his hungry children, an unsuspecting woman who inherits a house with a deadly secret, a murderous widow who shares a train carriage with Jack the Ripper, 2 burglars who bite off more than they can chew during a late-night raid. These and many more bedtime stories come hideously to life in Mark Lestrange's 19 Tales of Terror, each set on the most festive night of the year. Will anyone survive until Christmas morning? Ah!
Anyway, thank you, Kat. I hope to get to more of this year. Okay. Oh my god, let's take a look. Oh my god, no! This is too much. Oh my god, I'm just like looking in the viewfinder right now, like, oh my god. This is so massive. There's no way this is a TBR pile. This is a pile of possibilities. Like, how could I possibly get to all these? In frickin' December, when we're also traveling the week of Christmas to see my boyfriend's family. So, we will see, but yeah, I don't have very much faith that I could do all of these. Oh my god, it's so heavy. Okay, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this very, very long, kind of chaotic video. I was having some problems. It just took forever to film, it feels like. I hope I edited it and it came out okay, but I appreciate you guys nonetheless taking the time to watch it. You guys mean so much to me. If you enjoyed the new UNO game, leave me a little deck of cards or any kind of game type of emoji. That would be fun. I hope you guys like the additions and the changes I've made to the game. I know it was hard to really tell all of the changes because I only drew 5 cards. However, you got to see me spin, which was one of the new elements, and you got to see me use the Oracle deck, which was the other main new element. Besides that, there's some cards that tell me to like pick from Kindle or KU. Other than that, that's mainly the new stuff. All the new cards tell me to kind of do almost the same things. There's some that say to pick from my shelves. So anything that's not on my TBR cart that I use to play the game, anything else, like it could be the other TBR cart, but anything that I'm not using to play the game, I pick from like an actual other shelf, besides the ones I'm using to actually play the cards with. So, if it makes sense, I hope you liked it. And I hope you guys are having a great month so far, but for this time, that is it for me. Till next time, guys, you know what you can do. Keep on killing it. Bye, guys!